What's good, everyone? Night Cage here. Yeah, man, I got a surprise for you guys. I can't wait. I've been working on this. This is my new Chaos Lord. I just finished painting him a little while ago. His name is Devroth the Bloodied, and he has a really unique story. We're getting ready to kick off our second campaign before we get into the Great Crusades. We're going to kind of backtrack, go into the Great Crusades. Then we're going to do Heresy and Post-Heresy. Before we get there, though, we are kicking off a group of mini campaigns that we're going to be doing, Plague Win and I. And this is essentially about our Chaos Legions. So my Chosen of Angron Chaos Legion is made up of 8 warlords, and these 8 warlords are all demon prince, and each demon prince is on Angron's war council. These are Angron's chosen, and his war council is called the Cauldron of Blood. So there are 8 demon prince that sit on the council. Each demon prince has 2 chaos lords under them. And in each of those Chaos Lords have their own corresponding war bands. So I'm starting with the 8th Cauldron Lord. His name is Yurika. And this is Devroth the Bloodied, one of Yurika's heralds. And we're going to be telling you guys the story of each herald, how they came to be and what happened to them. And in my case, how the Cauldron was formed and what Angron is up to and all that kind of stuff. But this is a mini story about Devroth. And how he came to be who he is. I'm gonna try to do this really quickly. So anyway, in terms of painting, I just finished painting him this morning. I used one of the Chaos Warriors models, and I'll explain to you why I used the Chaos Warriors model to do this. But for now, I just wanted to kind of give you guys a look at, this is Devroth and his Blood Cleaver. It took me a whole week to paint this model. When I want to paint to a really high level, it takes me a long time. So I took my time doing this, and I wanted Devroth to be really stunning and really detailed. So I really took my time working with him to try to depict the character that I'm about to tell you about, and you're going to understand why he's called the Bloodied One. So as you can see, lots of details in his face. Try to slide him a little closer. Lots of details in his face. He's got lots of gashes and cuts in his head. He's had a rough life up until this point, but now he has ascended to become Yurika's herald. So Devroth's story begins in his Space Marine chapter. And he's a part of a Space Marine chapter called the Emperor's Tears chapter. And they are Xenos hunting chapter. And the Emperor's Tears, of course, have 10 battle companies. So on their homeworld, Yurika was the 4th company chaplain the 4th company is an assault company. I'm sorry, Devroth. So Devroth, as the 4th company chaplain, 4th company is on crusade. They're off in the outer fringes somewhere fighting against Tyranids. And they're doing this Tyranid campaign, so they're no longer on the home world, so they're gone. Another battle company that is also gone is 6th company. And somehow 6th company gets lost. Nobody really knows what happened to 6th company. They never come back. So they go off on some far-fetched crusade. And Plague Win will have to tell you the story of 6th company. Anyway, I'm going to just stick to 4th. So basically what happens is Devroth and his 4th company, they go off on a crusade to fight Tyranids. And they're gone for about 100 years. They're gone for a long time. In the meantime, the rest of the chapter is on their home world. And they're attacked by Eldar. And the chapter master, this chapter is a Xenos hunting chapter, so the chapter master and the rest of the chapter have a huge battle with the Eldar. And one of the policies that the chapter has with the Ordo Xenos is that anytime they find an alien artifact that threatens the stability of the Imperium, especially, it has to be turned into the Inquisition. So the chapter master finds an alien artifact of terrible power, and then instead of giving the artifact to the Inquisition, he hides it away. He hides it away in his fortress monastery, and only a few people know about it. But it turns out that the chief chaplain finds out that the chapter master has been collecting these alien artifacts, and he confronts the chapter master about it. And the chapter master, of course, puts him in his place, and it creates a chapter civil war. So the Emperor's Tears chapter turn on each other. In this bloody civil war, the chief chaplain tells the Inquisitor Lord Brom of the Ordo Xenos about the alien artifacts that the chapter master has been collecting, and he tells him about the chapter basically tearing itself apart because of the war, and the Inquisition declares the chapter excommunicate Traitoris, and they come in to do an exterminatus on the chapter. So the Inquisition arrive, and the chapter war bleeds into the Inquisition. A battle takes place, and the chapter master is put to death by the Inquisitor, as well as the rest of the chapter. The chapter at this point is declared, not fit for the Imperium, and the entire chapter is put to death. So Devroth and his captain travel back to their home world to find, after receiving communique, to find that the chapter has basically been destroyed. And he finds himself in the middle of a situation where they are now declared traitors. And in trying to explain to the Inquisitor their situation, the Inquisitor basically doesn't care. And the Inquisitor is like, my decision is final. You guys are traitors. Cease and desist. That kind of thing. And of course, Devroth, being the hothead that he is, as a chaplain, he's not going to fall for it. He's going to fight to the end. So the small 4th Company battle fleet takes on this grand inquisitorial fleet, and the 4th Company fleet is destroyed. So all 100 Marines, with the exception of the last 10 Marines, are alive, and they get on the Thunderhawk gunship. And of course, you guys know Thunderhawk gunships don't do interstellar travel. So they get on this Thunderhawk gunship, and they try to escape before their strike cruiser is destroyed by the Inquisition, and they go screaming down towards this big giant planet. It's a lost world. There's no technology. It's feral humans that live there. They're like barbarians, marauders. And Devroth in his Thunderhawk, they're flying towards this planet, and the Inquisition fires a single shot, hitting the Thunderhawk on the tail, turning the Thunderhawk into burning, screaming debris as it rains down on this planet. The Inquisitor then turns to his Master of Ordnance and says, "Job well done. This chapter is destroyed. Let's move on." Meanwhile, as Devroth's Thunderhawk is burning in the sky and moving at high speeds towards the ground, a barbarian chieftain looks up into the sky, and he sees his great fireball coming down out of the heavens. And he was standing before the altar of Khorne, where he had been praying to his god that they call Ra. Now I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about this planet. This is a planet that's run by barbarian tribes and marauder tribes. And these are feral humans. So no technology. So they all have their own gods. They have many, many, many different gods that they worship. This particular one this tribe of barbarians, they call their god Ra, which is Khorne. So this chieftain looks up into the sky as he's praying, and he sees this grand fireball going towards the ground, burning in the air, and he sees this as a sign from the gods. And when the fireball crashes into the ground and it causes a grand explosion, he sees these 2 giants step out of this burning fireball. And the 2 giants is Devroth, who is wearing at the time black armor of the chaplain with skulls all over him, and Devroth's assistant, who is the apothecary of that unit. The rest of the Marines in that assault squad, dies in the crash. So as Devroth and his apothecary step out of the wreckage, the chieftain has already summoned the barbarians of his tribe, thousands of them. And they see these two giants step out of this fire. They see the skulls adorned on Devroth's black armor. The skulls like you would see on a corn altar. These angry skulls. And the chieftain then knows that his god has answered his call, and he sees Devroth as the god's herald. They take him into the tribe, go to their home. They go back to their home, take him into the tribe, and Devroth begins to learn their ways. He knows that he's marooned on this planet. There's no way to escape. He's not going to be able to fix that Thunderhawk. They're stuck. So their only means of survival is to become a part of tribe life. Now these warring tribes, these warring barbarian, these marauder tribes are at war with each other because there is no stability. They're all at war with power, and they all worship different gods, and the gods are fickle. So the tribes are not united at the time. Now this planet is a planet made up of giant carnivorous plants, gargantuan-sized dinosaurs, vicious alien species of like different types of insectoids and so forth. So it's the worst environment imaginable. You think of like the Lost World, right? It's just big ass dinosaurs everywhere. And the Marauders use these dinosaurs. They actually catch these things and eat these things. So Devroth sets out to start learning their ways, and so he adorns their armor. And he and the apothecary finds a way to mix the power suit, their power armor, elements of their power armor into the Marauder tribe armor. And they do whatever they have to do to survive. Eventually, Devroth becomes the god of these warring tribes. He becomes their herald, their lord, and he eventually leads a grand-scale war against the warring tribes, uniting all of the tribes, destroying their monoliths to their gods, forcing them to worship his tribe's god, and uniting them all under his name, and he becomes what they call the Ever-Chosen. All of the grand tribes, the great barbarian tribes, are united under Devroth, and Devroth is then elevated to lordhood. And in worshiping the god and accepting the god of the tribe, he then falls and becomes a Khornate lord. And it's only at that moment that Yrica arrives. Now I'm going to play this story out so you guys will actually be able to see this story as it's being played out. Yrica arrives on the scene during Devroth's prayer one day, and Yrica names Devroth his herald. And at that time, Yrica sends a grand fleet to Devroth, and Devroth and his apothecary use their knowledge to implant the gene seeds, the remaining gene seed that the apothecary has, into as many of his barbarian warriors as he can, thousands upon thousands of them that's united under him, become his Chaos Space Marines, and they set to the stars in the grand fleet that Yrica, the demon prince of the Cauldron, sends him. And he sets out to seek his revenge on the Inquisitor Lord Braum, who set out to destroy his chapter those many eons ago. So this is what they're looking like so far. So you guys can see. Not all of them are going to be Marines. And I still have a little work to do. But just so you guys can get a chance to see what I'm doing so far with his guys. I still have to put the packs on their backs, but this is how they're coming so far. And this is Devroth and his guys. So coming together, got a little ways to go. I hope you guys enjoyed my little short story. We're gonna play this story out in a little while. I got a lot of painting to do before I get around to that. But once I get things under control, we're going to play it out. This is Yurika, the Cauldron Lord, over here. Right here. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.